What's up, vinyl community? This is Brad from H2Vinyl. Another non-traditional video for me. I know it's crazy, two in a row. I wouldn't necessarily call this VCLT, but I had the opportunity to purchase gear from a very dear friend of mine. His name is DG. He lives in Austin, Texas. We've been friends for about 18 years. DG, I know you're watching this, and I know I said you're a dear friend. You're more like a brother. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for who you are. A little bit about DG. He's amateur photographer. We've been friends, like I said, since the year 2000, and we were gamers together. We played 3 video game console generations of Halo. We did a three years of a tech podcast called The Guys Podcast together. That was a weekly show regularly until it wasn't anymore. And yeah, anyway. So about the time we were doing the podcast, I told DG, hey, if you ever have the want to sell these, I would hope that you would let me know. And because these items have a history with me too, not just DG. And yeah, and so when I got back from Detroit, DG sent me a text, and he said basically, hey, are you still interested? And I said, yes, I'm interested, and I want to do an unboxing of the items that I purchased from my friend. He's a big home theater buff, and so I know I'm not going to utilize these as he did, but I bought his basic, not 7.1, but I bought 7 speakers. They are the Swan Diva speakers, and you'll be hard pressed to find a more beautiful speaker than the Swan Divas. And so I'm going to be unboxing. I'm leaning up against one of the boxes here. I'm going to be unboxing one of the floor standing speakers, which is the 4.1 Swan Diva. And so I'll cut to that shot now.
Come on, sucker, lick my battery. The humans are. The humans are. Robo Boogie.
DG, these speakers are as beautiful as I remember them. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I said earlier that I had a history with these speakers, and I do. As you notice, they have a silk dome tweeter up on top, and this is the first time I had ever seen this type of mounting for a tweeter on a speaker before. Now, I know these aren't the only ones that have done this in history, but this is definitely the first one that I saw. And like I said, DG had a 7.1 sound system, and I didn't buy a subwoofer from him, so I got the 7 speakers, 2 floor standing, 1 center channel, and 2 near surrounds. I don't even know what you call them, DG. Near surrounds, and then 2 rear surrounds. And one of the rear surrounds, I believe it was if you're looking at them, it was the one on the left. We definitely have a history. It was over at DG's apartment back in Kentucky when we were in seminary. And I realized the seminary students generally don't have a lot of money. Neither I didn't, and I know DG didn't either. And he had bought these speakers it was around 2 months in advance, DG. So you had these speakers maybe 2 months or 3 months, and he had 2 of them propped up on. This was your fault, DG. This 2 were propped up on kind of wavery speaker stands, and we were over. DG loves to cook, and so we were grilling steaks outside, and so he was the master chef, and so he was grilling, and I just kind of bumped into one of these rear speakers, and it toppled over, and this tweeter, now 3 months after he bought these, this tweeter just popped off, and like 2 wires were hanging out and everything. And I had been friends with you, DG, for maybe 6 or 7 months, and I thought our friendship was done. Because you love your gear, you take care of your gear, and I thought you were going to kill me. And so I, with what boldness I could muster, with what courage I could muster, DG's, by the way, one of the nicest people in the world, and one of the most gracious people in the world too. And I went up to DG, and it was like, DG, you're gonna hate me. He's like, Brad, I could never hate you. And I was like, no, you're gonna hate me. He goes, Brad, he looks at me, he's like, the only way I could hate you is if you said you slept with my wife. Did you sleep with my wife? And I'm like, no, I would never do that. And he goes, then tell me what it is. And I said, I tipped over one of your speakers, and the tweeter popped off. And he goes, oh man, that's just a speaker. Everyone's all right? I'm like, yeah, everyone's all right except for your speaker. He's like, don't worry about it. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for your friendship, for being like a brother to me, and for these speakers. I know you said they've taken some spills. These are really in good shape, but the other ones have taken some spills. I know I'm not the only one who have tipped them over, between the 3 dogs that you've had and a toddler, and a cat. I don't know if Sushi, the cat, did anything, but yeah, I'm honored to have these in the house, and honored to have them hooked up to my audio gear, and yeah, it's a privilege to have these, and thank you. I will definitely be thinking of you every time I see them, be praying for you, and yeah, and as you are purchasing new ones, please consider me every time you look at those speakers, and pray for me as well. So hope everyone's doing well. DG, again, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will talk to you next time.